Welcome everybody, my name is MrLlama, and today I'm bringing you a TVZ that's going to be between Miszu, the red Terran spine down in the bottom left hand corner, and his opponent is going to be EGStephano, the blue Zerg, spawning down in the bottom right hand corner. And the map is going to be Shakuras Plateau. So really quickly, I do want to say I did get a new microphone, and I'm not quite sure on the exact proper setup of this microphone, where I should exactly have it, what the gain should be, everything like that. So if there is some sort of like digital scratch still in my voice, stuff like that, I do apologize. I'm really excited though that I did get a new microphone, because at least it's going to get rid of all that original static that my other microphone was giving and stuff. So I'm still getting used to trying to like set it up and make sure that I have this microphone on the optimal settings. It is the Blue Yeti microphone, so if you do know stuff about it, please feel free to post a comment, send me a message, anything like that, and be like, hey, yeah, I've set this up before. I know exactly what to do with the Blue Yeti, how to make it sound the best. On top of that, I do have a pop filter for it as well, because I don't want to get all the popping noise, of course. And yeah, so here we see that it looks like Stephano most likely going to be opening up with the 15 hatch, and he's going to be going against Miszu, opening with a 1-Rax FE, it looks like, throwing down that barracks as a part of this wall at the front here. And I really like this move from Miszu, something that I just don't see out of a lot of Terrans, but I do believe, of course, that's because they go for the barracks into a factory then, so it really is difficult to kind of build that if you're going for a reactor Hellion. But if you're going to be opening up with Marines and such, which it looks like that's exactly what Miszu is going to be opening up with, assuming by the nature of this barracks right here, this is a great place to have it. You can get that really strong wall, which just really denies any sort of baneling hit. If they do go for some sort of baneling aggression, it's just not going to be very effective, simply because getting the baneling down, right, or getting the banelings in, it takes so many to kill off a barracks at 1,000 health, that really anything they try and bring in behind it, you'll have all those Marines right behind, and they can't kill those off with those banelings. And it, I mean, unless it's a really big baneling attack, they can't do too much. So here it looks like Stephano's going to get in. He's going to be able to scout exactly what's going on. He's going to see the SCVs, sees there's no 11-11 or anything. But at the same time, we do see a bunker going down by Miszu over here, and additionally, he's sending his Marine across right now. So he is just going to be going for this 1-Rax FE, but this is going to cause a little bit of stress here for Stephano, as he's going to have to pull some drones down. So 4 drones, not getting any mining time right here, going to have to try and deny this bunker. Additionally, we can see that Stephano's going to be making 4 lings right here. So while Miszu is committing a little bit more with that right there, so he's going to be losing this Marine, going to be losing that SCV, unfortunately, and gonna have to cancel this bunker. Look at the damage that he's already done to Stephano. And yes, you're saying damage done. Stephano's only lost 6 resources versus the 125 of Miszu. But you have to remember, well, now Stephano has invested in a spine crawler. He's invested in these lings right here early on, and so now he doesn't have all those drones that he has. And there, Mizu's even saying, yeah, it's just to stress you out. Really, in a reality, I'm back at home. I've dropped 3 barracks down. And Stephano says, please don't stress me out anymore. So 3 barracks are going down, so it looks like he's going to be going into some sort of Marine heavy push, I would imagine. Getting his gas as well, though, so it's possible we'll be seeing some fast upgrades with this push. Maybe going to start taking up to medevacs in a little bit here. We'll have to see exactly the order. But really, like I said before, this is a great wall, and now Stephano's kind of been forced into this interesting position where, I mean, it's not like he's in an all-in position or anything like that, but you know what? He's down in workers, he's up in workers 22-20, but I mean, he's down in potential workers. That's what I'm trying to say. So while he has 22 now, he could have 25 or 26, something like that, had he probably like 25, 26, had he not made those lings, had those drones been able to keep mining. So really, I do like that pressure on Miszu. I think that's something a lot of Terrans should do, is start kind of trying to fake their opponent out. So here we can see Stephano just back home, chilling. He got 1 gas for speed, not getting any additional gas beyond that. So it looks like he'll be trying to take a fast third with all of the resources right there, I would imagine, as he's really not pressing for the gas, so we don't see any sort of fast 2-base lair timing. Just now putting guys back on gas so we can start working towards that lair possibly, or towards some upgrades. We'll have to see exactly what he does choose, as now he is going to go ahead and start taking that third base. Miszu, on the other hand, getting a +1, getting stim, getting a factory. So it looks like he's going to try and time this all up. So he'll have the factory, he'll have the starport down. He can get out some medevacs and hit with a lot of marines. And here we see Stephano gets in, sees that there is going to be stim going down on this tech lab right here, and goes ahead to back out, keep a couple of these links just to watch, you know, when do I need to start making links? Because right now he's still droning, right? He's at 40 drones, going to continue with the drone production until he really feels the need to start massing up some links to really go for anything. Getting, you know, when do you need to start getting links for defense and stuff? Here we see he's grabbing his +1, he's grabbing his +1 attack. He knows these barracks are continuing to make marines, so I'd imagine fairly soon, next 30 seconds to a minute, we're going to start seeing some lings out of Stephano, as he doesn't really have anything else to defend against the push. He has to know a push is coming simply because of all these barracks constantly in production here, constantly making marines. That right there is a pretty good tell, especially that he got these like immediately after this barracks instead of grabbing a command center. That right there is a pretty good tell. You know what? There's going to be some pressure. So Stephano not grabbing a lair, not going to be getting, there we go, as I say it, he grabs the lair. Not going to be getting, though, the really like early infestors. Instead, he went for that 3 base, tried to drone that up. As we can see, he's already up to 50 drones now, and now we're going to see him start massing up these lings, as he knows he's going to need some lings here for defense against this +1 stim push with medevacs. Yes, so it is going to be medevacs out of our opponent Miszu right here. And additionally, look at this Miszu throwing down 2 additional barracks behind this. So he is definitely going to go for increased pressure right here. And here we're going to see Stephano start to push in. Is he going to try and break a wall? Possibly. Looks like he's going to go ahead and just try and do some damage. But there's enough marines right there to scare him off. And Miszu, on the other hand, is going to start loading him up. Going to load up those medevacs, start heading over. But what is the path? And he's going to run right past the Overlord. And you have to imagine Stephano, as good as he is, there you go, is going to see it, going to move the Overlord. And he will have those lings ready and headed over there. And I mean, there's no way that this drop is going to be able to do damage at this point. At least he could wait and try and drop later, but right now when he sees it and says, yep, that's about all I imagined I was going to be able to do right there as soon as I ran past that Overlord. So Miszu, unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much, but I really want to talk about the extra barracks right here that are being thrown down. This is going to be in place of getting an extra command center. Look at all the money that is being spent on these barracks. So this right here is saying Miszu really wants to do some damage with these 2 bases, and he's not going to be satisfied doing like some damage with 2 bases and then grabbing a 3rd base to try and tech up. No, he's saying, you know what, I have to do damage here. And here he comes in to try and do a drop. Not going to be able to do too much right there. Going to have to lift off, losing 3 marines, but now he's bringing another drop around the north, and it looks like Stephano not going to be able to scout that one. So this one could actually do some decent damage. But yeah, Miszu right here, without grabbing this command center, is really putting himself in a very, very, very tight position. And look at even the more racks being added on. So he's going up to 9 barracks. This is pretty all in at this point. And here you can see he's going for triple drops. Going to try and drop over here at this left. Going to try and drop over at the natural, it looks like. And I mean, he's really going to try and do a lot. And additionally, dropping at the 3rd. How much damage is going to be done here? Here we can see him start dropping at the natural. Going to start picking off marines there. In the meantime, going to be stimming up at this 3rd. So the Zergling's going to start streaming in. Going to be able to kind of pick these off. But you have to remember they're just tucked away in a decent little concave right there. And Miszu able to start really doing some serious damage with all these marines in the back. Coming in over here to pick off some lings and drones. And I mean, I just want to look at the units lost tab. Look at that all of a sudden. How many workers did he kill? He killed 18 workers right there, and he's continued to drop. So 18 workers killed right there for Miszu, and just like that, Miszu is going to take the worker lead at this point. And personally, I'd like to see him drop a command center. There we go. So he is going to be dropping down that 3rd CC. And Stephano, on the other hand, says, my turn, as he now has dropped for his overlords. I completely overlooked what was going on in the production tab right there. So Stephano going to go for some drops. It looks like Miszu should be able to see that if he noticed all of the overlords heading over. But Miszu not done doing some damage, dropping once again in these little chokes right here to try and make it very annoying for all these Zerglings to deal some damage. And there's as well going to be an engagement in the middle. And it looks like Stephano going to be losing that one as well. Going to have to run away with these Zerglings. Does not quite have the 2-2, so it is still the 1-1. And Miszu looking in a great position at this point, has a decent supply lead, and he's going to start pushing across here with the rest of these Marines. However, in the main base, we do see that Stephano has dropped some links. They aren't going to be able to do too much, though, as Miszu was tucked away in all those little chokes right there, all the nooks and crannies, so really kind of prevented, and that SCV will go down, though, prevented any sort of damage being done. And now, just like that, Stephano going to be losing these Overlords, going to be losing all those Zerglings, and not able to do too much right there. However, you have to look behind this. He is going to be grabbing his 4th base. He does have an infestation pit. No pathogen glands yet, with infestors on the way. So I imagine that was an error on his part. Also, look at how little gas he has. He's only mining off of these 2 geysers. He is so heavily invested in these lings. They are 2-2 lings, though, versus the 1-1. Can he get us surrounded here? That would be huge, as he'd be able to pick off almost all of these Marines, I believe, especially with the upgrade advantage. 2-2 to 1-1, and it looks like Stephano, unfortunately, not going to be able to do so. More Marines are going to now join up, and this is a scary Marine force right here. And additionally, more drops going down in the base, and the infestors have popped, but they don't have the energy for fungal growth because he did not get that pathogen glands right there. So I'm still confused about that. Look at this. Miszu still has yet to continue the command center. Both players are just all over the map with their drops, making sure they're just picking up everywhere that's being killed off. I mean, there's so many places right now that they have to defend. And here we're going to see Stephano back and forth, undecided if he wants to try and engage. I'm not quite sure I like this position for Stephano. As you can see, with all the medefacts healing this front line, it is taking forever for these lings to push down. Additionally, he's going to be pushing into the natural. Oh, and a huge fungal growth goes down right there, so the Lings are going to be able to get a huge surround, kill off all those Marines. However, Stephano has still taken a ton of damage from this, and he looks like he will be able to clean it up, but at what cost? Look at the supply count. Stephano's still down. They're about even on workers. Stephano just continuing with those Marines. The only real thing is he's got that extra 2-2 upgrade over his opponent's 1-1. And now he's getting adrenal glands, so that's definitely going to be helpful in these engagements. And look at this. Miszu has continually been doing this game after game, or engagement after engagement, just plugging the little holes with his Marines, making it so difficult for these Zerglings to really get in and do any damage. And I mean, it looks like Stephano will eventually be able to clean this up, but still, he has lost so many units trying to kill off these little packs of 8 Marines here and there. That being said, though, he does have a decent-sized Ling force at this point. Additionally, he's gone up to 55 drones. Still has yet to get pathogen glands while he's making infestors. So I believe he just completely forgot about it. He didn't even realize that, or he's just, I don't know. He's still only on those 3 gas right there, 1 at each base. So that is very, very, very interesting. And now so he's going to see this drop heading up to the top with thanks to this vision. So I'll have some links up there to go deal with it. However, there's going to be a drop in the main right here. Is Stephano going to be prepared? It looks like he has some links heading out over the natural. Finally going to start heading in. And it looks like he's going to try and drop in this corner. Some links going to be able to sneak in between, though. So they shouldn't be able to do too much damage there, the Marines. And no, he's going to be forced to pick up and leave with that, so not too much damage done there. However, it looks like Miszu now going to be dropping up in this top 4th base right here. Still not really going to be able to do too much, though, and he's going to be making another charge across the map. He's out of mining at his main. He's running very short. Stephano still has some energy on these infestors, despite them not spawning with the energy, and now we're going to see another engagement with Ling versus Marine. It's just tier 1 versus tier 1, and huge fungal growth, though, from the couple of infestors that are out. Gonna chain fungal, gonna kill all those Marines off, and we can finally see Stephano starting to take the supply lead right here, as Miszu is really just left with a few packs of Marines and medevacs right here. He's going to stem in, try and do some damage, but it looks like Stephano with another fungal growth going to be able to clean it up, and I'm not sure what Miszu can do left. And that's it. GG right there from Miszu. And I finished on the weirdest sentence. What Miszu can do left. What Miszu has left to do, excuse me. So, what a great game right there by Miszu and Stephano. Miszu looked like he had that for a long time, but he was very all in. Stephano managed to hold it off, and Miszu was left eventually fall into the 2-2 adrenal gland lings. So that's going to be it. My name is MrLlamaSC. Make sure to subscribe to enter into the MrLlamaSC YouTube ad revenue giveaway, which occurs every month at the end of the month. And I will see you guys in my next video.